Hey, it's Chris here. You know, when somebody sets out to achieve something and they're working towards some big goal, sometimes they're going to do monthly progress reports. So I thought I would do the same thing for our indie app journey towards making money with apps. Now, it's not like we have a lot of income to report. In fact, we don't. And honestly, I hesitated to even start doing these videos because we basically have no money to report. Not no progress, but no money. But I think it's a very realistic portrayal of how anybody would start this journey. So with any luck and with a lot of effort, we'll be able to make progress and then look back on these monthly updates and see how far we've come. And I also think doing these monthly updates will be a motivator and keep us accountable towards putting in effort every month to make progress. I think that at this point, that's all you can ask for. So this is the first month end report. Let's take a look at where we're at. So right now we have 5 active apps available for download. Don't be fooled by these other ones that say removed from App Store. Those projects are not available for download anymore. Since this is the first time we're doing this monthly update, let me spend a couple of minutes introducing the apps that we have built. And I'll even talk about some of the apps we've removed because that might be interesting. So this one was actually a project we did with an intern to make things interesting for him. And it was an app to rate different Instagram accounts. So you could see whether or not this account would be someone, perhaps you're looking for micro-influencers or social media influencers. This would be a good way to check out their profile, or maybe you want to improve your Instagram account versus your competitors, so you check them out. But it was difficult because in order to get that data from the Meta API, you had to link a Facebook business account, and a lot of people didn't have Facebook business accounts. And then they kept changing the API, so this project was removed. It never got monetized either, but just from the get-go, there were a lot of difficulties in getting it to work. This was supposed to be an app showcasing our free videos. And also the cool thing about it was that you could try out some of the demo apps that you would learn in the course. This is also built by a volunteer who was working here, David. And we subsequently built this one, which is an updated version of that app. So this one is still available for download. And this app, you can check out our free videos from there that are available from YouTube, but just in an app format. And there are some quizzes and things like that. Again, this one is free and not monetized. This one was built in 4 days, and this was for a hackathon that Revenue Cat did last year. So this one is monetized because part of the requirement for the app is to monetize it in order to enter the contest. And this was just a very simple app helping you do more things that make you feel good every day so that you can have a better day. And so the monetized part of this was that you could add reminders or give yourself reminders to do those things. Emotion Tracker was a project that we started with our team here, our internal development team, as an effort to build an app to make money. And we chose Emotion Tracker because, why did we choose this? I don't exactly remember why, but I know we wanted to build a bigger branch of health and wellness apps. And I think we started with this one because we thought it would be simple. And as with everything, it turns out that it wasn't so simple. But this one is still being downloaded. We never monetized it, but it did get some pretty good ratings and reviews, and it took longer than we thought. So I told you, we thought it was simple. It ended up taking a year to build because we had other initiatives that we're working on with Code with Chris, and the app always fell into the back burner. That's the thing. The cool thing about this app is that the rankings, the keyword rankings for it is starting to improve. We haven't done anything with the app. I think it's just algorithm changes and things like that. So I am thinking about submitting some app updates for this, seeing as how people seem to like this app based on the reviews and stuff like that. And maybe that will help it even more. Again, this is not monetized, and so we're not capitalizing on the downloads. And we'll get to the downloads in a second. So these 3 up here these were all built with AI, specifically Cursor. And this is when I decided, let's build some apps and do the volume play. So let's look for great keywords using Astro, and let's build apps off of those keywords using AI. And most of these, actually all of these were built, each one built in a matter of 4 days using AI. So I think in terms of that kind of experiment, that was really successful. You can launch apps, albeit these are pretty simple apps, but you can still launch and get it in App Store, get it approved, monetize them in a matter of days, like less than a week. I didn't monetize Tip Tracker Calculator, but this one is getting downloads. Photo Delete Swipe Cleaner is also built with AI. This one helps you organize your photo gallery. It helps you delete those unwanted photos. You know, when you snap photos and you take 10 in a row, it's supposed to be an easy way for you to swipe left or right and basically clean up your photo library. So this one is monetized for $1 to get unlimited uses. Otherwise, you get a certain amount per day. You get to free up storage space. So there are a lot of these types of apps. It's actually a pretty competitive space. I identified Photo Delete Swipe as a pretty good keyword. It's not exactly ranking for that keyword yet. You can see here it's 56, but it has improved quite a bit. So you can see it's down here, now it's up here. And again, this is just having it spend time in the App Store. That's what I've realized. Like all of these apps I'm showing you were released at least 3 months ago, and then no updates since. And then over time, they just sit there and they gain authority and they gain better rankings. So the downloads will improve. And then this last one, this one I connected to, okay, well, first of all, what this app does is it removes the background from photos that you send it. So it helps you remove the background, something like this. Let's say you upload this photo, click a button, and using AI, it removes this background. Now, I was connecting it to a service called Remove BG, which I had to pay for every time it removed the background. Actually, this was a monthly subscription, so I was charged whether or not it was being used. And there was also a credit system, so if it was used too much, then it would hit a limit and I have to pay more. And I decided to remove this one from the App Store because I just wasn't getting enough downloads to justify paying the monthly cost for it. And so I think with these AI apps where you have to pay for some sort of service to power the AI portion of it, like it has to make sense. You have to be getting enough downloads and users in order to keep that your own costs going. So I removed that app to focus on a couple other things. So that's where we're at right now. In terms of downloads, let's take a look at that. So there are 2 different reports, analytics and trends. Now, analytics will give you a different view. So you can see, I don't know why they don't total it though. So we're not getting a ton of downloads, but numbers do seem to be improving. These are relative to the previous month. So when you see this plus 100%, that means that it's last month, it got 14 downloads. It's down. It's down here. Yeah. It changed ranking. So last month it got 14 downloads. This month it's got 28. So that's 100%. And impressions means how many times that show up in the App Store search, people seeing it. So you can see that it just fluctuates. I should also add that we don't do any marketing for the apps right now. So any impressions and downloads that you see here is purely based on organic App Store search and keyword rankings. And then the trends report, what this shows you, it actually sums up the app units. So this month, at the end of June, we're missing a day because I'm recording this on June 30th, and we made $1. So it's nothing to write home about, but I do have to say it because this is a progress report, right? And we got 112 downloads. Last month, we can go back to May 31st. We had 2 sales and 129 downloads. So that might seem more, but in this number includes the app that we removed, the remove background app, which was 19. So I would say hasn't really changed. Now, what I'm really excited for is the next month. So let's talk about what we're going to do in the next month to boost these numbers and to make progress on our app journey. We are currently working on an affirmation app for parents. And it's nearly there. We're just testing it, putting on the finishing touches. I think this month is going to be the month, July, that we can release this into the App Store. And the reason I'm excited about this app is because we're putting in a lot of effort into marketing it. So in fact, if you want to be notified of when it launches, please go to affirmations.framer.website and enter in your email address, and I'll just send you a quick email when this launches. You're not going to be put on any newsletter or anything like that. This is simply for me to email you and let you know when the app launches, which will be soon. So we're not monetizing this app right off the bat either. What I'm focused on is trying to get data and trying to get information about how we can make this the best affirmation app possible for parents. The whole idea behind it is that, parents feel a lot of different emotions. It's not always just joy and taking care of your children and raising children. There's a lot of other emotions like guilt and fear, all these things, right? Anger. So an affirmation app is supposed to help you with those emotions in times of need. That's the thing. And because I am a parent myself, I feel like this is something that I strongly believe in. It's something that I can talk about, the topic, I mean. And the difference between this app versus the apps that I showed you here is that with these apps, I based a lot of them on keywords. A lot of them were like projects with interns and things like that. Whereas this one, this affirmations app, we're putting our full effort behind marketing for it. So we're going to launch it, we're going to market, we're going to collect data, we're going to talk to users, improve the product, and really go about it the right way. So I feel like this is her first time really putting in like a fair effort to try to get somewhere with building an app and making money from it. Has to start from the right place. Now the volume play, you can see that we were getting a couple dollars here and there. We were getting traffic and the apps are improving in ranking. But from what I realized in building these three is it's great for putting your reps in, getting that practice in and getting used to shipping apps. But at the end of the day, realistically maintaining a portfolio of apps as a single developer, it's going to be quite tough. And even with these volume plays, when you're building a lot of apps, what you're really trying to do is step up to bat as many times as possible, and you're going to hit some home runs. And then you're going to be focusing on those apps, right? Because even with people with a big portfolio of apps, the 80-20 rule still applies, where only a small portion, maybe even just a handful of apps in their entire portfolio are the apps that are doing the heavy lifting, making the most money, getting the most downloads. The rest are just apps that didn't really pan out. So I think the volume play is a good way for you to find out those winners, but I am excited in doing it this way as well, where you're putting your full effort behind one app. And I want to see how it plays out. And then after this experience, I can talk about both and I can see which direction we should go. So at this point, being early on in the journey, I'm just exploring and finding out what's going to work for me. So I've seen success stories on either side. There's all these different people saying you should do it this way versus that way versus this way. It's really hard to know what you should do yourself. I think what worked for other people may not actually work for you. And unless you're actually doing things and trying it for yourself, all you're going to do is sit there and feel paralyzed because you don't know which direction to move in. Just pick a direction and move in it, just like I did here, right? Trying to do the volume play, build apps with AI. Okay, I get that. I see how this would work. Well, now let me try another approach, just putting full effort behind marketing for it and trying to build one really great product. And so I hope to launch this in July, and so I can report back to you at the end of July about how it's going to go. And hopefully it'll be really interesting. All right, so I'm going to wrap it up for this June Indie App report. I'll see you in my next videos.